Hey, what is going on this morning? I am Omar. I'm back with another video. I figured that I'm just going to go a little bit more off the cuff today. You know, we family. You know what I'm saying? We family. So I'm just go ahead and go a little bit off the cuff. Now, the topic of the day I want to talk about is wanting to be married versus preparing to be married. Now, how did this topic all come about? I had joined a advising and encouraging Christian singles group on Facebook. Shouts out to Shamika Smith, who had added me to that group. And I tell you what, the past couple days, past 2 or 3 days, I should say, I probably had more fun within the past 2-3 days than I had in a while, you know, joining that group. I mean, you want to talk about the encouragement, you know what I'm saying, the kind words going back and forth, as well as some good discussion, man. We've been chopping it up heavy the past couple of days. It's almost as if if you have put your phone down for a while, you feel like you missed out on a good conversation or a good point that somebody made. But I want to make reference to a post that one of the ladies had put up there on the page. And the post was, do you desire to be married? And when she had put that post up, I was kind of scrolling down and I was reading the comments. Pretty much everybody said the same thing. They said either I desire to be married again, or, you know, I desire to be married for the first time. You know, people say, oh, you know, I want to be married. I would like to be married. And I even chimed in and say, you know what? I thought I would be married already, you know, by my age. But one thing was interesting. I noticed how, you know, people will say, you know, I want to be married, I desire to be married. But the real question is, are you preparing to be married? I want y'all to stay with me. I want y'all to stay with me on this, because it's one thing to sit there and just hope and to wish for certain things to happen, but it's a whole nother ball game when you're preparing for marriage, when you're preparing for a career, when you're preparing to go to college, because it's going to take some work on your part. And that's when I chimed in. I say, you know what? It's a whole nother ball game when you're preparing for marriage. Now, I'll just go ahead and let's look at it from a men's standpoint of view, because pretty much just about every guy on there said that they wish to be married. Just about every one of them. But what steps do you need to take in order to prepare for that? First off, you need to get your leadership skills intact. Get your leadership skills together. If you're one of those guys who was unsure about things, you don't know what direction you want to go in life, that's not leadership quality. You know, we talking about being the head of a household. We talking about being the head of a family. When it's all said and done, you got to make a decision. You got to let them know the reason why you're making a decision, and you're going to put your foot down when necessary. So if you're one of those type of guys that's unsure about things in life, your direction in life, what you want to do, where you want to go, then that's something that you really need to consider. Getting your finances in order. I'm not talking about you being rich. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you actually having a plan. You know how to budget. You know how to save money. You know how to allocate money. That's what I'm talking about, getting your finances in order. Because a sensible woman is not going to be with somebody who don't know how to handle finances. One of the main reasons why couples get divorced is because of what? It's because of money. You don't know how to handle finances. She don't know how to handle finances. Money's being unaccounted for. And then everybody's trying to point the finger as to what happened. So getting your finances in order, especially the guys out there, y'all should be getting y'all assets columns together. Having an emergency fund. I talked about this in the previous video. Emergency fund. Having little investments here and there. Having a stash on the side, as well as the long-term retirement plan. So having your finances in order. being involved in the church. Now, do you have to be in order to be married? No, but I guess it just depends on what kind of woman that you're looking for. Because if you got looking for somebody that's spiritually minded, she's going to want to be involved with somebody who's part of the church, who's playing an active role in the church, who has some kind of a leadership role there. Okay, do you see where I'm going with this? Actually getting outside, meeting and attracting quality people, quality mates, potential mates. It's a whole lot of people that's, oh, I'm just waiting on God. You know, I'm just waiting. I'm just going to sit in the house and I'm going to just wait all day. I understand the whole importance of being patient. It keeps you from making rash decisions. It keeps you from reacting to situations that you would otherwise will make that situation worse. Just having to take a step back and calmly approach the situation. But sitting around in the house is not going to get the job done. I had put up there something along the lines of, and I'm sure you older folks know about this, closed mouths do not get fed. Y'all know what, you already know what that's referring to. Sitting over here just being quiet and just want to just sit there and be a wallflower, that's not the answer. You got to get out there. You got to meet people. You got to mingle with people. You got to put your conversation skills to use. You may have a lot of good things to offer, but if nobody knows who you are, how are you going to be able to showcase what you can do, what the things that you bring to the table? Those are just a few things that the men can do as far as preparing for marriage. Well, Omar, you talking about the men. Well, what about the women? Well, let's talk about the women. Okay? Let's stop chasing knucklehead dudes. We can start there. Let's stop chasing these knucklehead dudes who you know that you don't have a future with. That's number one right there. Getting your cooking skills together. I mean, we're talking about quality family time. We're talking about family meals. You desire to be married, to be the wife, to hold the household down, taking care of children, rearing up children. The cooking is a very important aspect of that. Do you got to be top chef Martha Stewart? No. But you should definitely have at least 2 or 3 recipes that you can throw down on. Whether it be spaghetti, whether it be meatloaf, you got to know how to cook something. I mean, we ain't going to be able to go out to eat 7 days out the week. You see what I'm saying? You taking some kind of a involvement in the church. Especially for those who is looking for a quality spiritual guy who's already involved in the church. Well, why don't you get involved? You just want to just sit back and chill out. Well, you in there in the back pew. You coming in 15 minutes late and you leaving early. Why don't you get more involved? Because guarantee you that's what that brother is looking for. And here's another thing too. And I know that you women like to observe guys. You probably been observing the same guy for the last 5 years. You know all his mannerisms. You know everything about him. Y'all like to observe guys. You can tell the ones who are scrubs just by observing them. You can tell the ones that has some kind of leadership ability with them. You can tell the ones who are going to be a good husband or going to be a good father one day. Those are the ones that you should be stepping to. Those are the ones that you should be trying to make yourself available to. If you're talking about wanting to get married, have that desire to be married, those are the kind of guys that you should be able to make yourselves available to. Because it's not a whole lot of them out there to begin with. So I would hate for you to miss out on a potential soulmate, a potential husband, because you just want to just sit back and just play I'ma just be a wallflower role all day. So those are just a few things that I just want to share. Feel free to comment and share this video if you would like to. Like I said, this was something that's kind of a little bit off the cuff, but we all family, so we can understand that. Anyway, y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all later.